Let's bring in national security and military analyst Dr. Rebecca Grant. Dr. Grant, a lot of things have changed in terms of international geopolitics in the last 48 hours, have they not?
Yes, and of course, the Western Hemisphere is in play. Just read Trump's national security strategy. You know, for Trump, America first begins in the Western Hemisphere, and that means taking down the drug cartels and pushing back on the influence of China. You know, China had over $67 billion invested in Venezuela, and of course, they bought their oil. All that's got to change.
Senator Tom Cotton says a lot of Western nations should take note that Venezuela didn't get any help from its essentially communist allies. Listen.
I do think, though, the meeting of those Chinese envoys highlights that Communist China was trying to prop up and support Nicolas Maduro facing this U.S. pressure campaign. And where were they when the United States came to get Maduro? Nowhere. So was Russia. So was Cuba. The same thing you saw in Iran in June. China, Russia, other American enemies all sent strongly worded statements when we were destroying Iran's nuclear program. It's a reminder of who the strong nation is in the world. And I think all of our friends around the world are happy about that. All of our enemies are worried about it.
We might quibble with him about this fact. It's my understanding that Cuban guards, that Maduro was employing a fleet of Cuban guards at his compound, and they were not able to help him either when the Delta Force and the CIA went in there. So, you know, there is a new sheriff in town, effectively, in this hemisphere.
Oh, yes, and China had no clue that we were going to go nab Maduro. You know, the last cocktail party Maduro hosted was for a delegation sent by Xi Jinping there at the Miraflores Presidential Palace. It was just hours before the raid in which Maduro was arrested. And I think that's a great shock to Xi Jinping. But just as Secretary Rubio got Panama to go back from the China Belt and Road program, you know, this is also geostrategy and minimizing China's influence in this region. It's not all about oil production. It is about geostrategy, too, and preparing America for what's going to be a decades-long multipolar competition. And we need China and the drug cartels out of the Western Hemisphere.
A lot of skeptics are saying, look what happened in Afghanistan, where the Taliban is back in charge. Look what happened in Iraq. But the Secretary of State says this is not either one of those nations. Listen to Marco Rubio.
Venezuela looks nothing like Libya. It looks nothing like Iraq. It looks nothing like Afghanistan. It looks nothing like the Middle East other than the Iranian agents that are running through there plotting against America. Okay? These are Western countries with long traditions among their at a people-to-people and cultural level and ties to the United States. So there's nothing like that. So I think people need to stop ascribing the apples and oranges here, the apples of the Middle East to the oranges of the Western Hemisphere.
So Nicolas Maduro is out, but that country's Supreme Court has appointed his vice president to be the president for now. Do you see any problems in sort of changing the Venezuelan government into a form that the United States likes?
Well, there is work to be done for sure, but Secretary Rubio is right to make the point that Venezuela has been a prospering democracy. As Trump said, you know, Venezuela was a great country 20 or 30 years ago. They've got more oil than anyone in the world. They need help to get that infrastructure renewed and to export more. But there's much greater potential, and that's why, you know, Venezuela is really could be a very prosperous society, a good partner and ally with the U.S. A long way to go, but Venezuela is an important strategic chess piece. And I think President Trump wants Venezuela on the U.S. side.
Yeah, let's hope it happens. National security and military analyst, Dr. Rebecca Grant. Dr. Grant, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.